Well, hey friends. So I have my friend Leslie here with me, and I say friend because I've gotten to know her through a mastermind that we were both in, and then she was one of my OGs in the launch group for my course, the Organic Marketing Framework, and she got in on the group coaching. So we got to really work through some things together, and I got to know her and her heart and her business. And she's just a really fun, very focused individual. And so I really appreciate her, perspective on what she got out of the organic marketing framework. So I just wanted to have a chat with her today and really just share it with y'all so you can hear from somebody else's mouth other than mine what this course really has in it. But real quick, before we jump in, I do want to let y'all know that as of right now, we are having a sale on the organic marketing framework for $50 off using code SPRING23. You not only get $50 off an amazing price already, what you also will get is one group power coaching call, a 1 hour call with me and all of the other students who want to jump on there, where I will just rapid fire answer your questions and give you super strategic feedback on whatever your questions are. And if you guys purchase the course before Thursday, May 18th, I have an early bird special for you with, in addition to the $50 off and in addition to the group power coaching call, if you're an early bird purchaser, you also get a website audit, a homepage website audit from me after you finish the course. So you'll go through the course, do the things, and then you'll email me and say, "Hey, Faith, I was an early bird person," and I'll already have your name. But you'll email me and be like, "I'm ready for that homepage audit." And what I will do is I'll go on your website, I'll give you an audit like I do, right? Y'all, I'm a copywriter. I'll give you an audit and give you that feedback. And then your website will be polished up and pretty and SEO wonderful and customer centric. So we're going to jump into this call with Leslie where we're talking about the organic marketing framework and what she got out of it. So listen in, y'all, and I'm excited for you to hear from Leslie herself. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. So I already told y'all that I'm going to have a chat, just a genuine conversation with my friend Leslie about the organic marketing framework, what all it, the actual real life results that Leslie got out of this. But first, I want you to get to know Leslie, get to meet her a little bit, get to hear her heart, and just listen in as she and I have this conversation. So Leslie, would you tell us just a little bit about yourself, what you do, your background? Just let us get to know you a little bit.
Absolutely. First of all, I'm so excited to be here because I binge your podcast on the regular. So to be on your podcast, it's an honor for me. So yes, my name is Leslie McShane. Let's see, what do I do? I have thrown spaghetti at the wall for a long time. So, I am in my midlife. So I think a lot of midlife women are trying to figure out what their next thing is, and I am no exception to that. I have, spent my career being in television and film production. And when I got into the midlife space, I kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. And so I started a blog, I started a podcast just for fun, just trying to do something different and try some different avenues, and enjoyed those things so much. I'm like, well, how can I move to this full time? So I was kind of working backward at that point. It's kind of like, I've got a blog, I've got a podcast. They're doing okay, but how can I get them to grow? And I had heard of this thing, SEO, but I had no idea what it meant. I mean, I'm more of a creative, so figuring out the hows and numbers and how to do things was not my forte. And so I floundered around in that for a while. And then you and I were both in a class where I started to learn how to do this thing called SEO and figure out how to draw people more to what I was doing, and getting an idea of how I could turn this into a money-making thing so that I could do it full time. But then, you kind of get to a stopping point there, and then you need to go to the next level. And I kind of felt like your class was next level for me to figure out how to get more people drawn to my new website, because it's not just having a website. There's a lot of back office things that have to be put into place for people to be able to find you. Same with your blog, same with everything that you do. I mean, you could have the best intentions on the face of the earth, you could have the best product, and unless you have certain things in place, people aren't going to find you. And if they don't find you, then they're going to spend their money somewhere else, because they're looking for you or someone like you or somebody that can help solve a problem. And they're going to find somebody else if they can't find you. So
Well, you just
that's kind of where I've been.
preach it, Liz, preach it, preach it. So, so you had done a lot of like digging on your own, right? And I mean, you knew enough to know what a black hole SEO can be, right?
A huge, huge black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't get my mind wrapped around it. I needed somebody in my face explaining to me what it was, how you do it, where you go to do it, what you're looking for when you do it, what those things mean, and then how to implement your SEO research into what you have, and how it will bring people to you.
That's so yeah, that's so good. So ultimately, why did you decide to purchase the organic marketing framework instead of just, because you had obviously figured out some of it on your own, like you knew enough to know what it was, what SEO was, and how it could work for you. So what were the deciding factors that made you go, buy, I need this in my life?
Well, when you're a new entrepreneur, you're trying to do everything yourself, because you're just kind of, I mean, you're like me, you're doing this thing on the side, so you don't have a lot of money to spend on this side thing that may or may not happen for you. I got to a point at the end of last year where I decided that I needed to make some investment in this thing. If it's going to work, I've got to make some investment. I'm tired of trying to figure it out myself. I'm tired of doing everything myself. So I did move over to Show It for my new website. And I worked with somebody, I actually paid somebody to help me set up a website, which is a big thing for me because I'm quite thrifty. And if I can do something myself, I would rather do it myself. But you get to that point where you hit the wall and you're like, cannot do this. So
Mhm.
I had somebody help me. And then once I did that and I made that investment, then you're kind of like, okay, so now you have this thing. It's beautiful, but how are you going to get people to it?
Mhm.
Because the person that was building the website wasn't building in, SEO and page titles and all the things that I needed to bring people to my site and keep them there.
Right.
So I had considered just hiring you
Mm.
to do it, but I went through your workshop and you're kind of like, it's one of those things where, I can either do it or I can teach you how to do it and then you can do it long term.
Mhm.
Have it done once or teach you to do it and you can do it forever. And again, I'm one of those. I know at some point I was going to have to make some changes myself. And I was also learning that with my website, I was having to teach myself that show it software because I was going to have to go in and change things. So, yeah, I decided to take the course, and it was great. It taught me so many things and so many more things
Mhm.
than I thought that it would.
That's awesome. Good. And that was my hope in building it. I was like, I want to answer these questions and, solve these problems. But my heart behind building it is I just wanted to not just over deliver, but like give you the things that you need to succeed long term.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much I struggle best to figure all of it out.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I've gone back and I've reviewed parts of the course, and because the first time you go through your explanation of how to read Google Analytics, it's not going to stick the first time. So I have it available to go back and, you know, review it again the next time I do my Google Analytics or write the next blog or
I
whatever it
still
is.
have to review. I still have
Yeah.
to review Google Analytics. I'm like, what does this mean again?
Where's that button again?
Yes. And then they moved over GA4 and I'm like, why? Why? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hit on something there about like, you could have paid me to go and do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to learn how to do it so you could do it long term and have that long term success
Mm-hmm.
with your SEO strategy. And I love that so much because I feel like as entrepreneurs, we often fall into one of two categories. We're either in the like fix it for me Jesus category, like I don't even want to know, I don't care, just somebody
Just,
take it and do it.
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're in like the I want to know all of the things,
Yeah.
And I think is for me, like I'm definitely like I want to know all the things, even if that means that I can eventually hand it off because I want to
Yes.
understand the strategy behind it.
Absolutely. I am the absolute same way. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So, did you have any fears about purchasing the course?
I did mention I'm thrifty, right?
Mhm.
So, there's always that purchase button push fear
Mhm.
until you do it. I mean, it's one of those things in your head, you know you're going to do it. You
Mhm.
know you're going to do it, but you're thinking about it and overthinking, and you end up spending and wasting hours a day wondering whether you should do it or not. And the second you press that button, you're like, okay, I'm in. And I
Yeah.
knew I was going to be in. So yeah, so there's always that whole dance you do with yourself on should I, shouldn't I? But you should.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like if you just go ahead and cut to the chase and hit buy, then you get so many hours back of worrying of whether you should or not.
Mhm. Yeah. So, honest opinion, was the value you got in the course worth what you paid?
Well, Faith, you over deliver. You do. And I think the course is worth much more than I paid for it, and I have gotten much more from it than I invested in it, and will continue to get from the course over time. because there are parts of it I haven't even been able to implement yet. And when I am to a place where I can do that, then I will bring in those pieces. So, um, the knowledge I have gained over what I'm doing is just invaluable to me.
Mm, yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that it was, worth more than
Yeah.
what you. That was my heart.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part? What's your favorite part of the course?
Well, I think I have told you before that I am now an SEO geek. You, I had already kind of started doing some SEO because I have a podcast and I was learning how to do SEO for podcasts. But one of the things that you talk about doing is creating a spreadsheet, because you want to get SEO, and there are different levels of people searching for terms that you use for different things. For Pinterest is one thing, for blogging it's one thing, for your page views it's one thing, and for podcasts. So there's there's no way to be able to go back and recreate that every time that you create a blog or any kind of content. So I put together a spreadsheet based on my content buckets that I focus on. And this thing is just, I love looking at it. It makes me so happy. Everything's color coded. And there's something about a type A person like me having something so tidy and at the ready that I can jump all over. I mean, it's literally open every day for me. Anytime I do anything with my website, my podcast, blogging, I refer to my spreadsheet.
That's awesome. So how do you feel knowing that you have such a solid numbers strategy behind what you're creating?
Well, numbers don't lie, and it takes the guesswork out of things. Like, I know what I want to say, but if I can look at a number and it's a choice between saying it this way or saying it this way, and the number tells me, yeah, you want to say it way B because more people are searching for that,
Mhm.
then yeah, that's gold right there to have that knowledge.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, it takes a lot of the like knowing the back end and the keyword research and the strategy.
Yeah. Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah. And then like, oh, okay, I know where I'm going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what were some of the biggest like tangible what was your biggest tangible measurable outcome from this course and implementing the stuff that you have?
Well, the number one thing that everybody wants is for more people to come to their website. I
Mhm.
mean, you've got to get people to your website. You got to get them to stay. You got to get them to go to the right pages. And that takes organic growth. And my organic, I mean, I've I just took the course like, you know, 2 months ago. So, like anything, everything starts small and then it grows. It's a long game. It's not like an overnight success sort of thing. It's going to take time. But anytime you can see any kind of progress, then you're headed in the right way. As our friend says, as long as the number's in the green, you're good. So my organic traffic in 1 month increased, 47%.
And that's huge,
It's
Leslie.
huge. Yeah. Yeah.
Huge. And I mean, just even thinking about that, like your website got in front of twice as many people.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
huge,
Yeah.
because people can't find you, they can't pay you.
Right. Right. I mean, the other thing is, I try to get people to my website so then I can funnel them onto my email list. It's kind of, that's how I get people into my email list. And my email list has increased 50% as well.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and the ROI on email marketing is huge, so much
Yeah.
better than social media marketing. So
Hmm.
that's incredible. That's so good. Yay! So have you had any like intangible wins, things we can't measure with numbers that you want to share?
I would think for me, because I mentioned the first thing I did was to start a blog. I didn't know how to write a blog. It was during the pandemic. I was just having fun. I was just writing about midlife and kids and relationships and blah blah blah. And there's this thing at the bottom of WordPress blogging that tells you whether your SEO is good, and it has red smiley faces and yellow smiley faces or orange, whatever, and then green for good. Mine was always red. It was always a big old frowny face. I was not doing something right. I had no idea how to make this face happy. And it made me very frustrated that I didn't know how to make that face a happy one. And going through the course and having you explain what you need to do to hit the tick marks in your blog to make that face happy. Now it's like, I mean, it's a game for me to make that face happy every time I write a blog.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that's a win for me. I mean, hopefully, it's driving more traffic to the blog, but that's what makes me happy,
That's
is
funny.
that my blog SEO is happy.
And you have a green smiley
I
face.
have a green smiley face, not that ugly red frowny face staring back at me.
Do you feel more confident now than you did?
Oh, totally. I feel like I know what I'm doing now instead of just flopping around going, maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this.
Mhm.
It's plan, and it's put into, I've put it into action, and it's ongoing. It's not there's never an end.
Mhm.
It's a journey that you're on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But you feel like you're headed in the right direction with that growth, because you know,
yeah. Well,
good.
I have a direction.
Yeah.
Or I have a map.
Mm.
I always knew where I wanted to be. I just didn't have a map to
Mm.
get there.
I like that. I like that. That's cool. So, what would you say to somebody who's just kind of on the fence about buying this course?
Well, I mean, I think that you already know that you want to invest in the course and that you should. Like I said before, just cut to the chase, hit the buy button, put your mind at rest and get into it already. But if you're hemming and hawing, just know that regardless of outcome, you're going to learn, and making that investment in learning something new, whether it's whether it benefits you in this thing or somewhere else tomorrow or next week, you're going to learn something that's going to help you somewhere along the line.
Mm.
So I would jump on it now. Do it now.
Good. Would you say it's laid out in an easy to understand way?
Yes, for sure. I mean, each module kind of focuses on its thing. Um, and you know, I mean, I went through it top to bottom. You can do it that way. I mean, if your main thing is blogging, you can jump to the blogging section and work on that. I mean, I suggest doing all of the modules, but if you want to jump on that first or something else first, yeah, I mean, laid out super, super easy to follow and go through.
Good. Well, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate your time and your kind words. Words of affirmation is my love language. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try not to cry into the microphone. Well, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what your podcast is about,
Sure.
and then where they can find you because you offer a super cool niched, service.
Okay. The name of my podcast is Redesigning Midlife. And it's basically where I help women in midlife prioritize their health and wellness now so that they can be happier now and be more satisfied with themselves now and live hopefully a longer life in 10 years, because a lot of times women, they don't know that they need to start taking care of themselves now so that they can enjoy some freedom and the independence of movement in 10, 20, 30 years. So it's all the decisions and choices that we make now that are very, very important. So yeah, that's what I focus on in my podcast, and my website is www.lesley.com, and it's Lesley, Lesley.
Okay.
So,
And
and
you have
that's
a course.
where
Yeah. Tell us what your course is about too.
Oh, that's right. That thing.
That thing. That is
That
so cool.
thing. Yeah, I have a 30-day course called Midlife in Motion. And when I talk to women in midlife, their biggest thing is they know they need to start taking care of themselves. But they just don't know where to start, and they just don't know how to stay motivated, because that's a big thing. And so I have a 30-day course that takes women through it's basically three-pronged. It's mindset and knowing where you're starting so that you know where you can go in 30 days. It's nutrition and basic little lifestyle swaps that you can make to make a big difference. And then it's actual workouts, including resistance training, which I know a lot of midlife women don't do and need to start doing so that they have enough muscle mass in 10 years to keep themselves from falling and breaking bones and being able to play with their grandkids and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a 30-day program to just help you get started toward making good choices.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I will have all of your links in the show
Awesome.
notes so people can find you. But thank
I
you so
appreciate
much,
it.
Leslie. Now, I am so excited y'all were able to hear that from Leslie, her own words out of her own mouth, all about what she learned in the organic marketing framework and the tangible wins. 47% increase in organic traffic after a month is phenomenal. And I'm just so excited for her and other students, and hopefully y'all, to really start getting more leads from your website organically without the constant hustle of social media. So please, please, please take advantage of this sale, $50 off with code SPRING23. You also get the bonus of a group coaching call with rapid fire question and answer from me, yours truly, and then you early bird people, if you want to take advantage of that, you'll get a homepage website audit after you're done going through the organic marketing framework. So head on over to the link in the show notes, check out all the things on the course, use code SPRING23 to get your discount, and I'm excited to see y'all inside the organic marketing framework. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.